Organic forms. So we're building it out of aluminum and stretch fabric and spray foam. The essence of the design, which we're extremely focused on, is that traditionally science fiction, for some reason, maybe it's to do with a few things made in the 1930s like Metropolis, are based on, the design is based on modernism. You know, sharp angles and octagons, and I don't know why doors are octagons in the future. And we're just thinking, well, why modernism? Why not something else?
We look at all sorts of sources. We look at Argentinian comic books, Geiger's work, and Renaissance, you know, space, the way that the Italian and Renaissance opera designs and stuff, where you've got these big, massive, you know, shapes in the foreground that are dark and some light in the background, and, you know, played around with some of those. Nothing that, you know, I've ever worked on comes, you know, near this sort of ambition that we have on this. I mean, this is incredibly ambitious. I mean, we shouldn't be able to do this. It's that ambitious. To be shooting it, you know, in 20 days and going through as much as we're doing is, it's pretty grueling.
Boy, please lock it up. And rehearsing. Action.
Please kill me. I am possessed by his shadow.
How did the script strike you?
Weird.
What fresh hell is this?
I thought, what the hell is this?
I'm shooting this part where I come back from the dead, and my physical body is occupied by this Giga shadow, so it's the good and the evil sort of split dual, and so I've been taken over by this evil force, and the good is trying to come out.
I have my own mind, but I control you.
The evil keeps popping out.
What is the Giga shadow? Tell me.
It's kind of a schizophrenic role.
She's dressed in the skin of a man that she ate and tanned his hide and then made him into a suit. These are whole cousins. There's different colors of hair because, you know, it's a collection. But if you turn around, you get to see, this is our guy. This is his hair. And so he's built in. I mean, this is him.
Twisted, dark, edgy. That's what attracted me to the project, because it's not a bland prairie drama.
You're a waste of skin. But you, girlfriend, Cigarado will eat first.
And go! I'm not really that much of a science fiction fan because I always found it all too sanctimonious and kind of boring. And I think that what we're trying to do has a lot of elements of fantasy, but it's extremely different from the science fiction of the 60s. But I've been sort of inspired lately, seeing that some things that are not following the 60s line are starting to work, you know, from Beavis and Butthead to Larry Sanders. They're basically coming from the concept that, not that the world will be better tomorrow, it's more based on the fact that humans are a flawed species.
Welcome to the Dark Zone.
The Dark Zone?
We're in the Dark Zone?
The characters are a little more everyman than normal science fiction. They are not people trying to save the universe. They're people like looking out for number one. Stanley is a security guard 4th class.
I'm not fertile. I'm not even female. I'm Stanley Tweedle. I'm all man.
I got a surprise for you.
Stanley Tweedle is Charlie Chaplin lost in space. There's something of the element of every man. I mean, every man has, you know, some hero, some coward. And this character has elements of that, plus desperate need to escape all the time.
What are you doing?
Coming?
You got 10 minutes only, and then I'm out of here.
We have this other character who's dead.
Dead, yeah, I'm dead.
You are dead.
Everything dies. And in fact, I'm dead alive, and there's one whole movie, one of these movies, where one of the big issues is whether I'm dead, or dead alive.
No, not alive, dead. I mean, dead.
I'm in my cryogenic tank. They try and wake me up. I don't wake up, and so they decide I'm dead, and so they bury me, and they have a little service on the planet Clagia, and it turns out that I'm not dead, and the spew from some parasites on the planet, they're spewing on me, and it heats me up, and I get to wake up and come back and save the day just in time.
Brace fires, and you get hit, that's it.
Where are the jelly beans? There's no jelly beans with the black ones removed. The bottle of Thunderbird wine I specifically asked for.
His divine shadow has a bit of an attitude, you might have noticed.
His divine shadow is, rules the 20,000 planets. He deserves a little respect, in my opinion.
Now kill yourself.
Kill myself?
Yes. Now kill yourself.
Oh, boy. Oh, God. Even his shadow sometimes gets a little bit of a hose down.
We have another character who's a woman who's gone through a love-slave transformation.
I'm beautiful.
Seth has also got what you would call, I don't know, mega libido or something like that. Because this, what she got from this love slave machine. But she can't find any man in the universe because Stanley is a complete wimp. Kai, who she loves very much, he has been dead for 2,000 years.
So it's just you and me?
And me.
Yeah, man and woman.
And a robot head.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Hirschfield. I'm one of the writers and also the voice of 790.
Well, let's do the 790s.
Oh, great. Here. Let's do the 790s instead. Fantastic.
Yeah, 790s with me.
This is 790, the robot. See? So he does this live. And see this? That's the eyes and mouth. And action.
Let her in!
What kind of robot are you?
I'm a robot that wants to live in your underpants. Very nice to meet you.
In the original Star Trek, they went for the skimpy outfits and the babes, and they seem to have become modest during the Puritan 90s and 80s. And we're sort of rejecting all that Puritanism and accepting the fact that it's showbiz, and we will deliver.
This is the Granite Brewery here, and man, they sell something here called Old Peculiar, and we think that's kind of appropriate. A couple of jars of Old Peculiar, and you want to write TV shows. This is movie television. We're with doing this thing with the Dark Zone down there, and we wanted to sort of come here and just do about a 10-minute thing kind of over in the corner, because this is where we sort of got the idea for the show. Most of these scripts have gone through 20, 30 rewrites.
We had no idea what we could do with computers. Paul said essentially run wild, so we did.
When you're working at this level of computer-generated and computer-enhanced involvement, there's a lot of planning that goes on, and mainly that's because of the technical requirements of doing what we do.
Let's get Ava in there just to frame it up properly now, because if there's a difference in height. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
My relationship with the director is to look at what's happening in front of the camera and make sure that I can make that work with the effects that we add and the animation that we add later on. So that means when actors have to hit a certain mark or they have to have a certain eye line, I've got to be there and work very, very closely with the director to make sure that happens.
So it's good for 3 plates?
It's good for 3 plates. Well, you got to like that coverage. Okay, so if we got that coverage.
When I begin my day, I have these storyboard pages which show every scene. And the elements of the scene are all listed. Like this one is live action set, plus CG, plus camera lock-off, plus paint composite, all in this one scene, which we'll shoot later today. So every little bit. And these things have been drawn and drawn and drawn and redrawn over and over and over. Let's go to the board. Where is the board? Lorette?
Guys, I need the entrance cleared up again.
Where's our board gone?
I think that we're missing
the connection, direct connection.
The direct connection. I mean, we'll never have the complete connection. We don't have the over-shoulder, them seeing Kai in the shadow.
Right here.
Exactly. It's not a matter of remembering how long the cigarette was in the previous take. And I mean, it's all these elements. Like, for instance, we're shooting scenes here, which we're just shooting what we call plates, which is the background with nobody in it. Then we go and add the people, which we shoot in front of green screens, because that way we can make them glow, do special effects and all that sort of thing, and then install them back in the background. They have to exactly relate. We have to measure the angle of the camera, get the exact same lens, exact same camera position, and often the exact same move, which means we use this electronically controlled camera.
But we still haven't seen him go down on his knee yet, eh?
Yeah, he's going to go down in this one.
Do you enjoy this process?
This I don't mind at all. You know, it's kind of like a permanent exam, though. So let's just, I would say you're getting hit, you're getting hit, you're getting hit.
This is good. This is concrete. This is all like brains, and the brains have properties, and I have properties, and I can understand all that, and all those things are straightforward. The toughest thing is, I don't know if you photographed the green screen, but when you're all alone in front of the green screen, imagining everything happening, that's really tough.
Fire now! Crash into the control pod!
There are bits of sets, there are a lot of smoke, a lot of dry ice, and everything is computer generated, so you don't really know what it's like. It's up to the boys in the back room who are going to either make or break. You're really in their hands, so you have to trust them.
This is Kai, one of our heroes, and his essence or his aura is being sucked out of his body by the bad guy, by his shadow. So David is working on the animation of the aura itself to make it look more nebulous, more gaseous, more dangerous. Claude has done is added lighting effects so that as the aura is going around, it is lighting, relighting, hitting the whole set with highlights. And you can see what he's doing is he's sort of like affecting different set areas. And he's also affecting the actor. And as the aura, the intensity of the aura goes behind the actor, he's backlighting the actor. So it's things like that that really sell the effect in the scene as opposed to just something that's been thrown on top of the scene. This is the other end of the spectrum where this is all completely computer generated. And this shot is conceived, is born, lives, and dies in this room.
This is the mod. This is the static model, but we also have a computer-generated model of the same thing. People fly around inside the Lexx and the moth, because in the dark zone, it's a very organic insect kind of world, and they live and work and travel in bugs.
The reference for a lot of the vessels have been more insectoid, and so being from the south, there's plenty of bugs down there. I brought this up so I'd have a good reference for textures and materials and coloration. This pattern is actually based on a southern female black widow. This is what would be the equivalent of like I guess a destroyer. Well, this is something I've been waiting most of my life to work on. I mean, there's no kidding about that. I think the overall caliber of all the animators involved, the fact that we're being given as much creative license as we've been given, and that the product itself is so novel, I think this is a great opportunity.
We're like the very low technical end of things, where we'll be doing foreground miniatures, front screen, rear screen, blue screen effects, some motion control stuff, and physical models, foreground miniatures, what have you. Anything the actors have to interact with in reality that isn't a CG will pretty much be taken care of here. This is a spaceship that I designed and built. It's Stanley Tweedle is one of the characters in the film, and he's basically a loser, and his vehicle sort of expresses that. There's a little cockpit in the center, and then there's very simple engines like these. This actually engine housing right here. I just went to a building supply store and just bought like one of those floating toilet things that go in the back of the toilet. It was a perfect shape. The designers drew it out, and I saw this and I was looking for parts. So that says BIC right there. If you look close, you can see it says BIC. I got to sand that off, I guess.
Okay, move your knees in, Mike. We're coming in. Straight in. Fire straight towards me this way.
Practical special effects are basically the effects that take place on set and are not computer generated. I guess you could say that. We have a puppeteer that that fits right in here. Okay. We usually saliva him up with various substances and spritz them, make them look, you know, as slimy and wet and alive as we can.